Ladies and gentlemen, here we are on another great night that I have, with all my soul, named special edition of the Spotlight. As you already know, I am your man Shadow. This is hype-radio.com, and I'm going to continue to bring you the best of the best of the best. And tonight is no different than all them other nights, except tonight I done put a little extra on the best. Like, it's some extra seasoning on this best, and it's some side and some entrees. You get to order a couple of appetizers with this best tonight. Tonight we have, as I've been hearing, I don't have just the old version. I have what I consider to be a newer version. He's talking about some things that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't talk about. He's doing some more things, and he has blessed my platform tonight with his presence. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Glasses Malone.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. I like that, man.
No, it's the truth, and you know, I appreciate you taking the time to come here and, like I said, bless my platform with your presence, because it's a real honor to have you here, bro. Like, real talk. I've been a fan over the years, back when I was at the other station working, and you came out and was doing your thing then, bro. Like, and you've been, as Diddy would say, around the world and with this.
And somewhat, man. I brought my homeboy Deuce Mac from the LA Johns with me.
Okay. Welcome.
I'm happy to be here, dog. I ain't been in the country, in the state's capital in a while.
You seem to have a battery in your back, bruh.
Somebody else told me that.
Like, you moving with more energy now than I've known you to move in your whole career. And I say that because not to knock what you've done in your career, but like, it's a battery in your back. You ain't just a AA battery. You got, you know, some 9-volt batteries connected, that's hanging in your pocket in a bag somewhere. Like, what's going on with that?
So mainly, how do I explain it?
Take your time. We here. It's your, matter of fact, the Spotlight, special edition of the Spotlight, is now Glasses Malone's show. So we here for him.
When I first came into business, I just felt like I was a professional street nigga, robbing it. I was robbing the game. Like, it was like, I can't believe they let somebody that really came from the street get in this business and hit for millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, my first 5-6 years, I made $2-3 million.
Congratulations on that.
It's different because taxes, you know.
Taxes are the mother.
Different money. But I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, they let the streets get in, because my whole life I looked at hip hop more like, you know, something that wasn't from the streets.
Okay.
And in 2011, a guy I invested in, pretty much my whole music career, DJ Head, he wasn't a DJ, but he was somebody I invested in earlier.
Okay.
And investing in him and, you know, seeing him and seeing his promise ended up working out for me, because that's when he pushed me kind of in this rabbit hole, and I realized I was in the right place, and hip hop is for the streets and from the streets. So I took a good 8-9 years just studying it, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out what all of this was about. I've never moved with such certainty. So when I first moved in, like, I noticed people would be worried or scared because they knew I was a gang member. It didn't matter to me. I always picture myself as approachable, but people looked at me differently. So
People who didn't know and didn't understand.
yeah, they was like, they had me pegged. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a crip. So, but now once I realized that hip hop is from the streets and for the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like, it changed my whole perspective and just learning. You know what I mean? I always say I got a bachelor's in records, I got a master's in hip hop, and I got a doctorate in marketing. So my confidence is because I've, you know, informed and educated myself, and when got educated by some of the greatest minds to ever come across this thing we call hip hop.
Okay, because when I say you've been around the world and you've been on a few labels, but you haven't been on like Grandma Kitchen Records and like little homie Duck Duck Nuck Nuck album, Criteria, Cafeteria Records. You've been on real labels that are still monsters today.
Yeah.
When you started figuring out this hip hop thing,
Yeah.
like how long have you been doing this? Because you talk about you had to put your interest and you had to back this person and put you in a position to watch they're doing. Like, when did you think you wanted to be a hip hop artist? Because
So-
let me say this too. Because
Sure.
coming from the background that you have, you weren't just sitting on your hands. You was getting your bread.
Yeah. I was hustling.
But you decided to step away, kind of step back from that to take on this music thing. When did you know this is what you wanted to do?
I enjoyed doing it. I picked it up in 2001 too, professionally. Like, well, I started to pick it up for real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wasn't a rapper in high school. Like,
Okay.
I was already hustling, working for some of my older homies.
Mhm.
Making $100 and $150 a day doing my homework, hustling. So I didn't rap in high school. It wasn't until 2-3 years after high school that I started rapping.
You really sucked it. I was gonna let it slide, but nah, I'm gonna put it out there. You look like you sitting at the kids' table, bruh. You got to stand up and there you go. There you go.
So it's like I wasn't a rapper in high school, you know what I'm saying? So when I found it 2-3 years after I graduated, it was cool. It was real therapeutic. It was something I shared with my younger brother, K-Style. And it was something that brought us together. It's something my mom kind of wanted me to do, to get into with him. And he got in trouble again, and I kept doing it because it was therapeutic. But I consider myself a professional street nigga for a long time. Like, I didn't realize I could take the business, I can be successful in the business to Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre told me, like, yo, whatever you're doing, this is what you should be doing.
I mean,
That was
that's
in
something-
2003-4.
That's something you gotta really take, a good ear to, because
Yeah.
you have somebody at that level tell you,
Yeah.
like, what did that do to your mind to hear, like, damn, Dr. Dre just told me I need to.
You know, it's funny, I took it serious, but I don't think I even looked at it like that. Like, I knew Dr. Dre made music and he was successful, but I didn't look at, like, now how I look at Dr. Dre is completely different because I understand what Dr. Dre is about. But at that time, it was just like, oh, this nigga who make dope ass beats for niggas told me I could do this for real.
Right.
It wasn't, like, now I get exactly what Dr. Dre represents, so now I look at it as an ultimate compliment. At that time, it was just an extra push that I needed to take the business of, records for real. But I didn't really become a professional rapper till 2018, 19.
Now,
I was a professional street nigga that rapped up until that point.
So what does that mean? You stepped off the block, or you just like, this is how I'm gonna pay the bills? Like, what made you?
So I was
say
already
you were
paying the
professional?
bills I was already paying the bills for rap music since 2006.
Okay.
And I mean, I didn't have to. But, I didn't have to sell any more drugs since then. But I still felt like a professional street nigga running, like stealing from the rap game. I didn't really feel like a professional hip hop artist. I felt like a professional street nigga. I would look at all the other rappers and be like, these niggas ain't street as I am. Like, not in this arrogant way, but like I felt like my journey was way more challenging. Like,
Right.
some of these dudes been successful since they was kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a professional street nigga that made rap music. Once I dedicated, and to their credit, to the guys even that I grew up listening to, they were always professional hip hop artists. They were unbelievably talented. They worked their ass off, and it wasn't. I didn't have that same journey. Like sometimes I listen to Snoop tell a story like Domino was teaching him how to rap in the 6th grade or 5th grade.
I've heard that
That's
story.
crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't rapping in no fucking 5th or 6th grade. So I feel like a boxer, like Deontay Wilder, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't start boxing until he was 20.
Mm-hmm.
He won a bronze medal at 23, 24, and then he won a heavyweight championship at 30. Anthony Joshua started boxing at 18, you know what I mean? He won a gold medal at 22, and then he won a heavyweight championship at 26. That's kind of how I felt. But it's different when you climb in the ring, like with my predecessors and all the legends. Them niggas been boxing since they was 7. Ice Cube been writing rap since he was 9.
Right. Right.
Snoop been, again, Domino, this is a multi-platinum artist, taught Snoop how to rap when they in 5th grade.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Snake been singing and Warren been rapping. These dudes been rapping since elementary, so I had to really make a commitment to it. Like no different than what Anthony Joshua or any other Deontay Wilder or late starting boxer has to do. You have to make a commitment to the culture and really giving a fuck about it and making it make sense for you. So I made that commitment over the last 12 years, and money didn't matter to me. And this is where we at today. That's what you hear when it feels like you hear the life in me speaking.
So it's almost, I don't want to say you got a cheat code, it's just you've been through some things, so you kind of know, the direct route to get to where you want to get to now. More so than having to hustle it and push it and have somebody approve it, and like which buttons, and obviously the era that we in makes it a lot easier.
No, don't. Well, it got us.
It's got us good and bad.
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do things artists today don't know how to do.
Which gotta be with marketing.
Which is coming here.
You doing
right,
the
which
street
is calling
work,
Billy
doing
Knight.
the footwork of it.
You know what I mean? And I'm good at maintaining relationships. I got that from my older homies when it came to hustling. My older homies, it's crazy because you grew up in the streets and you grew up gang banging and you hear all this stuff, and I wouldn't advise a kid to get into it for sure. But I will say this, there's a lot of really masculine ethics that became important and beneficial for my life that I learned from Pluck, that I learned from Shady, that I learned from Moon. And one of them is maintaining relationships.
Right.
I maintain relationships. I've been doing Billy for years, you know what I mean? And I maintain relationships, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure this man is happy. Now that we know each other, this will be a relationship. I met Deuce, probably in 2004. I met EP probably in 2007, and I maintain these relationships. One thing about being, a Crip, especially a 7th Street Crip, is you taught diplomacy early. You taught how to go in other people's community and socialize with them, create, economics and figure it out. So I brought that same mentality to this business that I do today.
Okay, that's admirable. But you've had to encounter some difficulties. And I say because a lot of artists who come from the streets, the hood, wherever they come from, everybody's cool with them when they struggle. As soon as they get big, then the hate want to kick in. Have you experienced a lot of that? Because
I wouldn't call it hate. It's crazy because me and Deuce and EP was just talking about that. I know, right at the table. I don't really, and maybe this is why not, it's a level of naivety about me, being naive. I don't believe it's just hate, right? So earlier today we were talking about certain homies that ain't, it look a lot better than it is. And if these is really your friends and they like, well, man, help me. And it's like, it ain't that good.
right.
You know what I mean? So you got to be a lot more transparent with your friends that come from these poor communities. You know what I mean? It looked like I was on MTV and BET with videos and I wasn't a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I couldn't give nobody no jobs, but I was always extra transparent with my homies too. Like people could say whatever they want. It could be a Bentley, it could be a G-Wagon, it could be a Porsche outside. I told them what it was all the time, so they never was in the blind of what it was.
Okay.
And as far as hate, I was telling them earlier, you gotta earn hate. It's this belief that everybody get hate. Most people ain't hating on most of these people. Some of you niggas is just bullshitting. Somebody telling you about yourself,
Right.
and you calling it hate. That ain't hate.
Right.
You have to earn hate. You know what I mean? People have to look at your life and be like, man, he got that shit cracking. Man, I could be having it cracking too. But that's real hate. You know what I mean? That dislike, because they in themselves and they don't know how to do it, and that's where that hate comes from. So it's really something you earn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's, like we were saying, if you got this fresh brand new pair of shoes, maybe your mom earned you that hate because she worked them extra hours to go get you the Jordans.
Right.
So every last bit of hate I earned it. You know what I mean? You change your life, you know what I'm saying? You change your life and niggas like, I can't believe this nigga used to sell Sherm, now he a rapper. That's crazy. Now he got a Bentley and he got this house and the girls, and it's like, I earned that. So I accept it proudly. Even now, we talk about certain homies that's the homies around us, and people talking about the album, they like, I can't believe this person, Glasses, is being compared to this successful person or this successful person. I be feeling good about this shit. You know what I mean? I'll be like, yeah, nigga, they in my comments, like, yeah, that nigga, ain't that a bitch, this nigga. Yeah, I did that. Good looking out, fool. You know what I'm saying? I earned your hate. Like, I got it. Thank you. That's really how I feel.
Make sure you buy the album.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Respect my mind.
Exactly. Well, that's a great way of looking at it. I mean, I've never heard it looked at like that before. So
That's the coolest shit I
That-
heard
that's crazy.
all
It
year.
was funny, we was just talking about it.
But
We
see-
were just talking about it earlier.
But see, that's the
I
whole
swear to
thing.
God, I was telling the homies that.
that's the whole thing that I'm noticing about. Like I was just talking to I want to say EP earlier, just a second ago, and I was like about this smacking ass single that was created. We gonna get into it a little bit later, but I was telling him that looking and kind of trying to do my homework on who Glasses Malone was. Usually when Billy brings somebody through, shout out to One Umbrella, I'm like, okay, I can wing this. But I was like, okay, Glasses Malone. I know I've got a couple of his brother's albums. He's been on radio stations, been on major labels before. Like, okay, let me go do some homework. So I'm listening to the album, and I'm like, this can't be Glasses. Like, let me go back and listen to this song again. Like, you got real messages. You've had messages before,
Sure.
but like, you touching on real situations that really ain't what you've done before. Like, you outside of your box. Like, it's hard to explain. I was explaining it to Brad earlier, but you're not the same. Have you, was there something that you said when you made this album, like, I gotta come different, or is this something just natural through your evolution of doing music?
It's definitely natural through my evolution. I'm in the same box, but I just realized the box was a lot bigger. And there's certain places that I can go around the box. All the homework made it be more like a line. It stopped being so like, when you're an artist, you really creating in the dark.
Okay.
I mean, you just grabbing that shit and shit, just grabbing that shit. You just grabbing that shit. And you like, I can make a song about this, or I can make a song about this, or I can make a song about this. But as you start to figure out what the business is about, what hip hop is about, what records are about, what marketing is about, everything, the room gets much smaller. And then everything you're supposed to create usually makes itself appear. And you're like, okay. It's like with Tupac Must Die, like I knew I needed to make that song at that time because I kind of cleared up everything, right? And I knew that what was responsible, like what was required of me.
The title alone, going back to when you first dropped it, I was like, what the fuck? Why is he? Okay, let's hear it. And you literally gave a story that no one knew about.
It's crazy because we all knew. We all knew about
the
it.
The world knew one lane. When you dropped that, it was like, wait a minute, what happened? And the way you were shooting it in different scenes and in the store, and I was like, okay, this is some genius shit. But you were really taking a chance on that because, like, the world was hearing it the one way, and you was, motherfuckers don't like to hear different shit. What made you take the chance to put that out? What made you like, okay, the other side needs to be told?
What's funny to me is the title itself is some Shakespearean shit. Like,
It
if
is.
a nigga jumped me, I wouldn't say that nigga must die. Like, we gonna kill that bitch ass nigga. You gonna fuck that nigga. So
Pretty much.
to me, the title was hella Shakespearean. It was super poetic. Tupac Must Die. I didn't get why people were so upset about the. Actually, we didn't think the title was that bad. We thought it was super like poetic, like Romeo and Juliet. Like we didn't even look at it because it was such a play on English language.
We were in that zone, the East West,
Sure.
that
Yeah,
bullshit.
like,
that,
must die,
yeah.
yeah.
So it came across that way, but genius.
Thank you. Really, so when you doing this shit right, it's not a chance. Somebody else tells you you're taking a chance. Like when you doing hip hop correctly, to you, it's just like the natural and next level of what you're doing. It's the natural and next level of everything you should be doing as a contributor to this culture and to this artistic foundation that's only looked at for thousands of years. There's only certain things you're supposed to do. So I didn't really feel like I was taking a gamble till somebody else saw it. When Mac 10 saw it, that's when I realized it was a gamble. When I first told Deuce, because Deuce is in the video, right? I'm like, yo, I got a dope ass idea. Deuce didn't say, man, that shit, you taking a gamble. It wasn't like, nigga, you crazy? Like, man, that shit sound hard. Because he's from the land, right? So he understands this is a normal thing. So the people that's in my circle of creators, they not looking at it like it's a gamble. This is normal stuff to us. But as I showed it to CJ Mack, as I showed it to Ice-T, as I showed it to Mac 10, the people that I look up to as creators, right? This is real shit.
Let me put pause. Let's just go ahead and mention the names that the homies he was just showing work to. Like, bro, you talk, I can see where you could talk about these names, like elders.
There's another
like,
thing, but I earned it though.
Yeah, that's
like,
what's
I didn't
crazy.
have these niggas the first day. They
No,
wasn't.
hell no.
They was staying away from this. They was like, this so crazy, Sherm dealing ass nigga. There was that treatment. You know what I mean? Dogging them. None of them fuck with me. You know what I mean? They did not fuck with me, and I respect it because we really was like street, like Sherm dealing, gang banging ass niggas. So they look like these niggas. These niggas ain't serious about this business. These niggas gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? So to their credit, you know what I mean? But as I started to dedicate myself to it in 2011, and as I started to dedicate and give more to it, and I knew the right questions to ask and changed our relationship. And then people heard me speak. Even during that time, Snoop might have heard one thing. CJ Mack might have heard one thing. CJ Mack was always cool, so shout out to Mack. It didn't bother him how street I was. Ice-T, we had met, but you know, two short people like that who they started to answer my questions. Battle Cat, Zach, certain people started to answer my questions, and I knew the right questions to ask them. DJ Quick, you know what I mean? Like, I can ask him the right questions now. So it's not the names, right? What made the relationship great is they were intrigued by the things that I was discovering, and they can answer the questions. So honestly, I know it sounds crazy because it's just like, I'm not name drop. I'm serious.
Bro, you ain't name dropping those names. You know they know you.
Facts, yeah,
you got their number in your phone. You done been to
Facts,
the houses, like.
But that don't mean still it don't fuck me up. Like, Ice-T is like talking to like a child. Like, I remember seeing Ice-T on a movie screen when I was a little 4-year-old kid when Breaking came out. That's back when movie used to stay in the theater for
Bristol
2
Glove,
years.
Reckless. I remember that.
You know what I mean? And like, so this is the guy that was on the movie screen when I was 4 years old. So it's still that way to me. But when I'm in my research and I'm studying, they become professors, they become teachers, they become elders and guidance. So when I made Tupac Must Die and I went to them and I passed them a joint, like CJ Mack was like, yo, you need to do a Tupac side because motherfuckers gonna think you tripping. Mac 10 was like, no, right? Because Mac 10 gave me my start, you know what I mean, with Cash Money. And Ice-T was like, this shit is brilliant, but you know these motherfuckers is crazy. That's when I started noticing it could possibly be, like a gamble. Because when I showed it to Deuce, that was never the conversation. Even when I called Deuce, I was like, man, Mac 10 think this crazy. Like, for real? I'm like, yeah, this nigga tripping. He like, this shit is too much. He like,
So what was your real thought when he hit you with it, man?
Shit, I was with it.
Now was that because it was a dope ass idea, or was because your partner was like, this is what I want to do, and you was kind of supporting
It was like both. It was like, because I didn't understand why niggas was tripping. You feel me? Like, man, it's like, it's Tupac, my nigga. He got into some street shit, he got chipped. It happened to everybody. Like, bro, he's not exempt from the street shit. Like, he exempt from it if he stay away from me. But if you involve yourself into that world, bro, it come with the territory.
Right.
If you jump, if we jump you right now, and you make it to your
Sacramento,
truck, what's gonna happen?
This might be a problem.
What's gonna happen?
It's gonna be a problem.
We might not
You
leave
fucking
here.
his glasses.
It's gonna be a
You're not
problem.
gonna be like, yo, his glasses Malone, let me stand
Yeah,
down.
like,
That's
don't
not.
Nah,
This is
fuck
the
about that.
wild, wild west.
Real issues.
Yeah. So
Fuck it.
So-
I didn't believe them rap niggas. So when niggas be saying
I'm
like,
telling
no,
you.
I be like, nah, you lying.
Mm.
I don't be believing them
couldn't
niggas
believe
don't be with it.
he was like, for real? They
I
was
be
tripping?
thinking like, damn.
CJ Mack, who was as street can be, you know what I mean? he was like, man, you need to make a Tupac side and then run one and run the other one. And for a minute I thought about it, but I remember telling him like, nigga, every story told is Tupac's story. How does that work? Like, and he's probably right. If I would have did it, it would have went over better.
It would have.
People, but then that
But that wouldn't have been your
and
vision.
it wouldn't be gangster rap. Imagine NWA explain fuck the police and why they're upset with the police and then tell the police story. You know what I'm saying? That just wouldn't be gangster rap. That's not what gangster rap is about. Gangster rap is truly the streets perspective, especially from a criminal level. So sometimes you gotta like, I talked to, who did I talk to? I talked to Yella, and I talked to some other people about their energy at that time and what they were going through when they put out Fuck the Police. So I knew what to expect at that point. Like, you know, I knew it was gonna be, you know, a rough path ahead, but I was built for it. You know what I mean? I went through all the stuff I needed to go through in real life to be just fine. And niggas is upset, they'll be all right.
Yeah, not fucking. They still watch it, still ring your views up. So it is what it is.
And through all the shadow bans of YouTube, shout out to YouTube because I get it, and through all the challenging, it still was the most talked about song in hip hop, and that was my goal. Like that was my first brick I added to the foundation that is hip hop. So I'm really proud of that.
Hip hop is a competitive sport. When you got diss albums going out, it's straight competition. It is what it is. Some of it hits a little bit harder than others. Some of it's just because they're trying to drive some numbers, but it's real competitive. Now, you've been on your podcast lately.
Yeah, no ceilings. Shout out to Black Effects and iHeart. No ceilings. Yeah, it ain't no visual. It's all audio too, like old school.
I was on Twitter one day.
Yeah.
And I was doing my trolling thing. And this is even before Billy got at me that you was going to be on your promo tour. And I have certain thoughts and certain ways that I think things should go. And this day and age is not doing that. I say this to say, you were on there talking about, like I literally shared it. I think you even responded to about these niggas wearing nail polish and purses and tight jeans and bell bottoms and shit.
Sure.
I was like, okay, here we are during a time and age where you can't even really give a woman a compliment without causing some shit. You decided to go in an era where it was frowned upon to be on some, what I would say, cause on some real man shit. I was raised by a man who was military and, you know, from the South, and you didn't do certain shit like walking around, like, if I see another nigga walking around with a purse, trying to talk about it's a damn satchel, no nigga, that's a purse.
Yeah. Like, we don't know what satchels do.
And now you niggas is wearing ankle bracelets?
Yeah, I was on
The
it.
bruh, when you was doing that shit, I was in my house by myself like,
That's what Cancel These Nuts is all about. Getting with the LA Giants, you know, Deuce Mac right here, Joey Westside's brother at home, watching this. Getting with EP, you know, we all men's men. I can say that for sure too. We're
Facts.
all men's.
we come from an era where you had no choice.
You know what I mean? So I don't feel the pressure of being a man as much as I'm worried about dudes who not being a man. And I'm definitely worried about the next generation seeing that, thinking that you have to wear a dress to be successful. Or they looking at a little yachty and they like, yo, you have to wear fingernail polish to be successful.
Right.
Or looking at Kid Cudi and like, you have to wear a wedding dress or makeup to be successful. And it's like,
Crazy.
all they seeing is weird shit at the top. A bunch of, you know, weird shit. There's no just men. And hip hop is, you know, when hip hop came about, we were able to provide real men. Remember
Yes.
before that hip hop, you know, the rest of the music landscape could get really tricky. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like Barry White was like probably the most masculine nigga that I could do research. Like
Shout
Barry
out
White,
Barry
you know
White.
what I mean? That nigga was a man.
Yeah.
You
Barry
know what
White.
I'm saying?
Barry White was giving game.
B Dub was like a man. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Nigga be chilling at the park and shit, playing chess and shit with niggas, playing dominoes with niggas at South Park. That's
Yeah.
my type of nigga, you know, rest in peace, B Dub. But it's like, you know, music has always had a very eccentric, you know, thing going on. Like Prince, you know what I mean? Prince is one of the greatest ever. But you know, you look, you like, if your son was like that, you might be a little worried.
A little worried.
I mean, outside of him, you know, once he get off the piano, he's still wearing the maskless chaps. It might be, hey, bro, get your shit. So
Facts.
hip hop brought in this. Hip hop came and represented for the streets, and people got to see men. You know what I mean? They got to see men, Run DMC, LL Cool
Yes.
J, NWA, you know, the whole Rakim. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to see men, you know, fast forward, Snoop, Big, you know what I mean, Exhibit, you know, Ice Cube. You got to see men with no compromise.
Right.
You know, no makeup, you know, no disrespect to the legends, but no makeup, no assless chaps. You got to see men. To where they created a term called toxic masculinity because hip hop came and made this imprint on the world. So eventually it started turning into pop music, and niggas started wearing makeup and wearing purses
Shit
and
is fucking crazy.
wearing heels and shit. And so here we are once again at the, you know, instead of the discovery of the culture, like we at the recovery mission of the culture. We trying to recover masculinity.
Now, it's that sparks something that you just said. You're on the recovery of it. A lot of OGs in the game have started coming back and putting out music again. Do you think it's because they kind of feel the same way, or is it because they're trying to get the hustle, or, you know, for a while the mumble rap?
They ain't even gonna touch on that type of shit.
Yeah,
I was always like, somebody's got to come back and bring back real rap.
And we the niggas that the OGs, see the OGs can't personally stand up and say them or little niggas because they gotta stay in place with the rest of the success of the business. But trust and believe behind closed doors, we them niggas favorites. Why they are back, you gotta realize Ice Cube is richer than he's ever been.
Ever.
Snoop is richer than he's ever been. All of these
Shout out
legends,
to the new Death Row
right,
owner.
are richer than they ever been. They have more money and more success than they've ever. Snoop is on a Skechers television commercial.
Man.
He has a line.
I
Doug
just
has
said it.
A line in Walmart. So he's wealthier, right, than he's ever been. So
Him and Martha Stewart like this.
yeah, you know what I mean? So we gotta do the dirty work.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So they left us to do the dirty work. Ice Cube, Snoop, Quick, all that generation of legendary hip hop act left us to do the dirty work, and we gotta clean it up. That's our responsibility. I talk to Deuce about that all the time. It's our responsibility to clean hip hop up because they was doing it in their era. Like if you did some shit that was questionable shit, them motherfuckers was on your ass. Cube, Snoop, NWA, Dr. Dre, you know, Dog Pound, you know, Exhibit, all that shit, they was on your ass. You know,
Right.
Pac, them niggas was on your ass. You 40, they was gonna, Short, they gonna be on your ass, you do some weird shit. And,
Facts.
you know, them dudes have escalated into multi-millionaires, and they have to protect their brand, so they can't be as liberal with their voices as we are. They can't be as, you know, honest with what they see in the game. So they left it to us, and we just gonna clean it up. I mean, no stop, no breaks. And whatever it is after that, you deal with it.
Okay. And that's actually cool to hear that without the legends actually putting in, they actually sending the soldiers to go and work because they've done their work.
Yeah.
They've done their work to get to the platform where they're at, to the level where,
To enjoy it.
yeah.
To not have to be in the mix and.
But it's got to
and
be
lose
irritating as
sponsors.
fuck to them to hear
Oh,
the shit
yeah.
that's going on
Oh,
now.
they be hot. I mean, I'm not even mad at the mumble rappers. Like, I think there's a place for melody. You know what I mean? James Brown, you know, it's some shit before, you know, that get a little questionable. But that don't mean our voices don't matter. There's enough space for everybody to do their thing, but it's our job to clean it up. You know what I mean? And to antagonize shit that we know is sucker shit anyway. So we coming to do our job, and you know, it has a value to it. It has a real value to it.
Now, seeing how you on this whole new level plateau in this music thing, what is your feeling on how courts and police and detectives and everything is using verses now in court to put artists behind bars? Like that's a whole other crazy issue.
I mean, I'm glad we don't got it in California. I mean, shit.
Man, that would be a problem in Cali.
You know what? So it's a two-sided blade. There's a side where it's like, damn, like artistically you can't just express yourself. But then there's just some dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying?
I am so enjoying
a
this.
lot of artists, you know what I'm saying, these niggas, some of the homies on drugs, they doing bad. They got some money and they winning, but they on drugs, dealing with all of the trauma and shit they dealing with and making really dumb decisions with what the shit they saying on the mic at those times that they saying it when shit is happening. So there is a bit of self-responsibility that you probably need to be a little bit more sober when you in there writing your raps, especially if your conscience is bearing some ignorant shit you just did. But obviously we would like as artists to have the freedom to express ourselves and to not be held against such criminals. That would be the most normal thing. But this is America. This ain't a home game for black people.
It really
I mean,
ain't.
this is a away game, so we gotta act like this away game. People
Great way
ain't
of
for the
putting
root
it.
for us, you know what I mean?
Great way of putting that. Okay, so enough of this serious shit. Let's go ahead and get into what you here for today and what I've been waiting.
Sure.
You have got a new smash ass fucking album.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
There you go. Got some new shit for you. It's called Cancel These Nuts.
now
That's new shit.
I've been seeing it.
Yeah.
I've been posting. As a matter of fact, y'all can go on my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. You can get the code to go in and purchase your own. Now, Ice-T did it.
Yeah.
Ice-T put an album, a three album, and he had the artwork and everything because he
Shit
talking
was
about that.
dope.
Bro, I tried to
He
get
was sending
one.
me some of those songs.
I tried to get one so bad he couldn't get one.
He was sending me the songs a lot. For him to be, Ice is now 65? 65?
Ice
Going
is
to
truly an
58.
elder
And like to still be able to rap and be good. Like,
great.
Like he's just fucking outstanding. That shit is dope. He'll be sending me songs. I'm like, this motherfucker been good for 40 years.
He ain't missed a step.
How you be good for 40 years? Ain't nobody good at nothing for 40 years.
Yeah. But
Motherfucker good for 40 years.
you flip the script with this.
Yeah.
You flip the script with this. Like, it spins, it's Spotify, it's all that shit. But Ice-T started it. I think I can't remember who else did one, but you actually put your album up for sale where they can order it. There was an autographed copy.
Yeah, on thecripstore.com.
I'm gonna need one of them copies.
I got you. Cribstore.com, man.
Now, we was talking earlier about people saying they're gonna send stuff, and I'm gonna put you on blast. We were talking earlier, so
Got you.
I'm gonna want my autograph
I got you.
because I need to put it on the
I
wall.
got you. I got you.
Because that's genius, bro. Because there's still a lot of cats that, you know, they getting their spins, they doing all that shit, but ain't nothing like getting that, bro. Some of the best trips in the world was going to Tower Records or Dimples to get a CD, or if you was a DJ to be able to pull that wax and, bro, take it home or get in the car and try and pull that plastic off that damn CD.
You play that dumbass sticker they put on that motherfucker.
Man, that shit used to
Stupid ass
piss me
sticker
off.
take 20, but you gotta hold,
Bruh.
you gotta disconnect the CD, break it down, take the cover off the spine.
It was a female who taught me how to rip the plastic, unhook it, the hinge, and peel it off that way. And it was seconds, as opposed to you got to use your key. If somebody had that fingernail, like it was work to get that CD out of it. But what made you want to go back in time? Because realistically, to put out a CD is considered going back in time now. You know, it's something old. What made you want to do something like that? Which was genius in my book, because like I said, I need my copy, bruh.
Gotcha.
But that merch, that idea to do that, what caused that?
Just where I'm at this point is really fundamentals. It's all Tim Duncan. It's all bank shots. It's all 16 feet out away from the
Tim
basket,
Duncan ain't
12
no
feet.
basic player
You know what I'm saying?
ever.
That's where I'm at when it comes to doing the business of records.
But your basics don't fit this era, but the basics always work. I've always said the internet is not a cure for cancer. And you said earlier, you're doing what they're not doing. You're on the road. You got your relationships you kept over the year. Like you going back in time doing the old guerrilla marketing type shit. The only thing you're missing, by the way, which I do, is you missing sniping.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying like, they're not saying, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, why did you put up vinyl?
Yeah.
They're like, that's dope.
It's dope
Nobody's
because
doing
nobody's
that.
doing it now.
So right? We pre-sold 100 pieces of vinyl, right? Which is dope.
Yeah,
Um,
hella
You did
dope.
vinyl?
Yeah,
He did
right,
vinyl, yeah.
But this is what's crazy, right? Is we call it back in time, right? But it's really just a fundamental thing about music. Like,
Right.
music, the music business is the business of selling music.
Right.
So if you're not selling music, you're not in the music business.
Right.
Right.
So every artist today that's dependent on streams, they're not in the music business.
Say
They're in a
less.
different business.
Right.
They could be in show business where they depend on concerts to build their revenue. They could be in merch business where they sell merch to make their living. I'm in the music business. I sell music, and music can only be sold so many ways. Cassette USB, a CD, right?
Genius.
I have cassettes. I have vinyls. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to even.biz, which is this amazing platform. You can go buy and listen to my album streaming, but pay me for it. You can pay the artist for the art. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the music business. I sell music for a living, and that's what I tell all my homeboys, like, we have to sell music. EP produced this album, right? He did an incredible job. I'm like, yo, bounce all the instrumentals, you selling that. That's we selling that because we are in the music business. So we have to sell music. We can't depend on streams, that's not selling music. We can't depend on publishing, that's not selling music. We can't depend on royalties, that's not selling music. You have to sell the music. So that's where my focus is. So I don't feel like things that I'm doing is old. I feel like things that I'm doing is like form. Like when you shoot a jump shot, putting your elbow under the shot and
Right.
spreading your fingertips and putting your, this is how you shoot the fucking ball. This is how you shoot the
Right.
rock. So to sell music, this is how you sell music.
Or sinking.
They can do all that after. As long as they sell this shit, it's for sale. So that don't mean it's not available for everybody else to do it how they want, but if they want to fuck with me, my music is for sale at thecripstore.com, www.thecripstore.com. People came and bought it. They bought 1,000 copies. I just been doing business, you know what I mean? I sell music because I'm a really talented musician and my music is for sale. I mean, that's just where we at, the fundamentals.
So I gotta.
Shout out to Billy Knight,
yeah,
who's our
we-
indie record
yeah.
recorder for this
That
whole
website, what's that
album.
website?
It's called The Crip Store.
No, the Crip Store, but what's the other one that you can, instead of going on Spotify,
Even.biz.
even.biz. That's-
Even.biz.
People need to
That's-
know that.
You need to know that's gonna be
Biz.
a real cheat code.
So, the Russell is, so if you listen to him talk about how much money he's made off his fans off the album, he's like, I made 130,000.
Yeah.
His partners was Even.biz.
Okay.
So Even has been around for a year or two doing incredible work.
Wow.
But they make it to where your fans can buy your music
Directly.
from you.
Yeah.
Like, we not tripping on Spotify. People don't mind. Listen, there's this belief that people one day said we don't want to buy CDs no more. That was never a conversation.
Right.
Never.
Technology told people you didn't have to anymore.
Right.
But if you like an artist, you know what I mean? Like, we put our hearts into the music. Me, the Giants, you know, LA Giants, Deuce Mac, Joey Westside, EP. We take it serious. So we run a music business. So our music is for sale.
Yeah, because the streaming, to be rolling down the street, pull it up on your phone, and play the single, like, if there's 10 songs, you get to play your first 3 favorite ones, that's cool.
This
But it
might
was
call
nothing
your
like,
phone.
it was nothing like, because you saw my Dub C album back there, and you was like, he's
It's my
insane.
favorite album.
But he did sign it because the cover was an actual poster.
Yeah. I remember that cover.
Man, I love getting the CDs and opening it up and finding out what studio they were at and
Yeah.
who was involved and which producer. And like that was the whole love for the music game. It's gone now in a sense, but you bringing it back. And I don't, like you said, it's not a old thing. Like it's a thing
It's
that
a forever thing.
yeah.
You either in the business of music or you're not in the business of music.
It's crazy. If
You in the
Spotify,
business of
you ain't in the
selling
music
records.
business.
Yeah, you're not. You're
Wow.
not in the record business. Like, your job is to sell records. So if you're not selling them, you in some other business. Maybe you in the entertainment business where they're gonna monetize your brand and team you up with McDonald's and they're gonna put you in concerts and you're gonna have merch and then you're just selling entertainment. Nah, I'm in the record business. I sell records. I sell music. You know what I'm saying? I work my records with Billy Knight. I work my records with Bang Loose. I work my records, shout out to DJ Amen. I work my records because I'm in the record business. And I'm in the music business, so I sell music.
Now, with you being in this music business and running your label the way that you do, you connected with the LA Giants on this new album. How did that connection happen? Now, I know we go all the way back to Footy Pajamas in the Sandbox
Not
and
that far,
everything.
not that far.
But realistically, you had to. It had to be something in you where you went to, to the partners and the homies and be like,
Really got a lot of the space. Honestly, I'm really cut it short. It was at a time that God sent me people that I needed around me that was just as vested in Los Angeles culture as I was.
Good for that.
And they needed somebody to help them explain the business. And I needed somebody who could actually share space with me and understand and be able to relate in culture so I could have honest conversation. I needed pure people. We was talking about certain people earlier when we went to eat Round Table's Pizza out in Sac, and we chilling. And I'm like, see, our problem is we think everybody is bad people. They not. They normal. Most people don't help people. They just gonna do whatever they gotta do and what benefits them. That's normal. I said, God knew He probably surrounded us with good people because we needed to be around good people at this time to make this work. So He gave me good people. And Joey and Douchemack, the LA Giants, are good people. So it was just at a time where it made sense, where they needed exactly what I knew, and I needed exactly what they knew. And it wasn't about who knew more or less. It was about God putting people together at a certain time. EP came into the fold, and it was people who needed each other creatively and maybe even spiritually to some degree.
Yeah, because God is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, because Lord God just saved my ass a lot of times. Only a lot. And I mean a lot. Would not be here today if it was not for Him. But God touched you to come up with this.
Lead in these niggas' pencil.
Man,
There's some lead in these niggas' pencil, man.
your album, you really touching on a lot of shit. You really speaking a lot of wisdom. And the average motherfucker ain't gonna pick up on it until like 4 or 5 plays later. But you're gonna get the message you're trying to put across. How long did it take you to put this album together? Because I'm sure EP had like a trunk full of music for you.
In real time, it was about 6 months, over a 2-year period. Like we wasn't, I know that sounds crazy, right? We kind of caught a couple in the pandemics. There was work to get a feel. Then I had patellar tendon reconstruction surgery on my left leg, so I was down for some time. But it's really roughly about 6 months worth of work.
Over a 2-year period.
Over a 2 year
It makes sense to me though.
Like, we was working on it all the time, but we wasn't really focused on it. We was figuring it. First off, we spent probably a good 120 days till we caught a wave. Like we was working on ideas. I was doing stuff for him. He would do stuff for me. And we caught a wave with one song, which ended up becoming Kanye Should Have Never Married That Bitch. That was the first song. And
Great song, by the way.
which is dope, right? So once we heard that, we was like, okay, this is cool. And then we made another song, right, which is Nike Cortez. That was the second song we made, right? And I was like, yo, I think we're right here. We figured out where we needed to be. Like where we met at. Like EP is dope because so EP played a ton of Kanye West shit. It's a Grammy winning nigga, right? Ton of Kanye West shit on 4 or 5 albums. Executive produced LAX for Game, so he got production credits, right? Executive produced production credits. He
Shout out, bro.
executive produced some Scarface stuff, produced Scarface songs on Emeritus, I think Deeply Rooted as well, if I remember correctly. Tech 9 singles. I mean, so like this dude is from my town. We from this small part of Los Angeles called Watts, and we're from the same place.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to come up with 7 numbers out the air, because apparently greatness is just attracted to you, bro.
Right now. Right. What's funny is
So I'm gonna
this
need my
whole
7
time.
numbers at the end of this.
No, it's crazy because we was tripping off this. Like I remember I was around Game, like right, I had just finished selling Sherm every day, and I was around Game right when Game sold 500,000 records the first week on documentary, right? So I'm with Black Wall Street, right? And I'm working with them and learning everything from Face, his older brother, who's like a genius, you know. G-Rod, who's another like merch and marketing genius, and they have this movement, Black Wall Street, and Dre is asking me, have I heard of these people? I'm like, no, I never heard of them in the city. And then now I'm with them, and this nigga sells gold in the first week with a documentary after a time the West Coast had been, you know, disappeared. And he brings it back, but single-handedly for the most part.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right? And then fast forward, right? I signed my record deal with Cash Money Records in 2007. And at this time, Lil Wayne is on fire. He's fresh off of Carter 2 and Like Father, Like Son. Ironically, I'm in this video, Stunned Like My Daddy, right? So this is the irony, right? So this is God, right? So I'm in this video, and I'm with them, and he's working on this project, right?
I didn't know that. I was just playing the instrumental, but I really didn't know that.
So I'm right. So the next thing is I'm on this. I'm with Lil Wayne. I'm watching him in the studio. I'm working with Birdman, and Lil Wayne is working on this project called Carter 3. And I'm like watching it happen, and I'm listening to the songs, and I'm watching him work. Like I could tell he was like this, like the top level MC. Like he's as great as rap can be. He's as great as hip hop can be. And I'm watching him work on this little project, the Carter 3, and I'm watching him record Lollipop. And I remember them playing it at the studio, right? Because that's how it seemed at the time. What's the Carter 3? It's another one of the Carter.
Right.
Like my favorite was Carter 1. I didn't even like Carter 2 enough. Right? So I'm like, okay, it's another Carter. This motherfucker sell platinum in the first week. I'm right here. I'm going with him to pick up manila envelope with 125,000 back ends. So I'm watching this shit happen. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. They gonna pay this nigga this much money? And I remember hearing Lollipop in the studio, no lie, me thinking like, this shit is horrible. Right? I'm like, this shit, I swear to God, this shit horrible. And you know, I didn't get it until I saw the music video. And I was like, holy shit. Like, cause if you hear it, remember he's, you know, rest in peace, Stat, like, these dudes are ahead of their time with this song. The game they didn't have anything like Lollipop before Lollipop. So I'm listening, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like this nigga came off Hustler music and Carter 1. What the fuck is going on with this shit? And shout out to Katina Bynum, who was a product manager for every Cash Money act. She's a brilliant woman that works at Universal Music. And in her office, I'm in New York, and she shows me the fucking video for fucking Lollipop. And I remember, because I'm in the video, I remember being in the video trying not to show my face, like this shit is not tight. Right? This is how ignorant this is the crip in me, right? So, like, so look at the video at the end, I'm in the back like, yeah, whatever. So I see the video and I'm like, fuck, I should have dived in front of everybody. This shit is amazing. And he comes out and Lil Wayne sells 1 fucking million records in the first week. And I'm like, again, I'm unshook, I'm unbothered. I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? It's dope, whatever. Like, and then so now, in my everyday partners, I'm helping them. These is the guys I started business with, and we're on tour together, you know. And every day, Kendrick Lamar is like opening up a J-Rock and his Zeitman. So we're on tour with Tech 9, right? So we having a good time. This is my young homie. This is my little partner. You know what I mean? Like it's fair to say I almost fed him every day on tour because you know he's coming up, so he didn't have a bunch of money, so I'm feeding him on tour. This my nigga. He's a brilliant dude, and now this motherfucker he's working on his album. He's telling me about it, and I'm like, yeah, sound cool. And this motherfucker comes and he's the biggest motherfucker in the game. So I've been around so many top tier motherfuckers and always been able to hold myself in these rooms and always able to be as great as I needed to be. It didn't matter that I was next to Game. Somehow I was able to shine. It didn't matter that I was next to Lil Wayne. Somehow I was able to shine. It didn't matter that Kendrick Lamar was my friend. I was always able to shine. So the only thing left was to take this shit as serious as everybody else takes it. And as I started to in 2011 and 2023, here we are, and it's serious. It's serious, like, it's serious, you know what I mean? I owe it this much, you know what I mean? It's a reason I was always able to shine no matter which sun was in the room, you know what I mean? So it's my job to take it serious. It's my job to pass on the next people that can really make sure that the West have a voice or have a say when it comes to this shit, and to make sure people discover somebody from my town, like EP's brilliance. Like it's my role, it's my responsibility. That's how I feel.
Your wisdom is out there. You really deep in your thoughts with this whole thing. Like there's not one way you think. Like if something comes up, you think in 12 different ways about it automatically. Like it's crazy to even see that happening, but what you've been through and how you've come to your path, I kind of expected, but to actually sit here and notice how you making it work is amazing.
Thank you.
So we have this album called Cancel These Nuts.
Yeah, man.
How do we come up with the name to the album?
Shit, cancel these. Y'all can say a lot of shit to everybody, but it's certain shit you just can't say to us. They didn't buy us. They didn't make us. Pepsi didn't make us. The festival didn't make us. We made from the street. Straight up molded in motherfucking asphalt and concrete and brown grass and palm trees. You know what I mean? We came straight from the soil. So, you know what I mean? Like, they can only cancel you if they made you.
Right.
They could never cancel us because they didn't make it. So, at a time when you're not supposed to say what you want to say, then we're going to do that just like that. We're going to say exactly what we want to
So
say.
you kind of back on the whole NWA. You
all
can't
that
perform,
bullshit. Yeah.
fuck the police kind of thing.
Right there. Like, cancel these nuts. I don't give a fuck who know. You know what I mean? And they can make it, see, it's different today because they can make it challenging.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, you know, a winner is going to win. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it's about.
Okay. Now explain the cover.
You see it? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they trying to incarcerate free speech. You know what I'm saying? So,
This shit is genius, bro.
appreciate that, man.
Real
Fucking
talk.
Deuce on the toilet. Crazy stuff from Deuce, man.
This is crazy. This is next level. Period.
Appreciate that,
Like
man.
you can start a revolution with this.
Well, that's the goal. The goal is to really make sure we do a much better job of the youth and not giving up and letting them know that it's a space to be a real motherfucker in this shit and succeed. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't make $30 million, but if you make $3 million, who the fuck cares? It's the
Facts.
same number, as long as
Facts.
you go home with your soul.
Facts. Now, we have this smash ass single that when I heard it, I had to bring it back. I was like, this shit don't, what? Who wanted to bring, how? Okay, let me hear it again. So you got this new hot ass single, world premiere here on hype-radio.com,
Yeah,
The Loke.
yeah,
First of all, the title itself
yeah.
causes an issue.
Sure.
Not an issue.
Sure.
It causes thought process.
Sure.
But when you play it, you talking again to EP.
Yeah, shout out to EP, shout out to Urban Folk.
EP lightweight, a psychotic genius.
I agree.
And I say that to this because when he produced this song, I'm not sure, well, I'm pretty sure he fucking knew because he's like Gandalf the Wizard over there with these production shit. He dropped this and it was a nuclear bomb in the middle of every era from when we came up to the youngest cat who is a YouTube listener.
Sure.
Like, immediately I heard Biggie. Immediately after that, I heard Isley Brothers.
Sure.
Now, we said earlier, some of the cats listening to this don't even know who the fuck the Isley Brothers is.
No.
And that's sad. You motherfuckers really need to get something about you. But when EP gave you this, because when he explained it to me, he said, I got a chill while he was explaining it. How did it hit you, and what was your thought process on what you were going to put on it? Or did you already have something put together for it?
No, that's not one of those. We have about 2 of those on there, but that's not one. When he sent it to me, I remember just listening to how fast it was. And it made me think of like records when I was like 7, when I first heard Rakim and certain
Mhm.
people, or like Kane, like when they be rocking over these 112, 113 BPM songs.
Right.
was like, man, you know, and at that time I was so in my hip hop bag too, like as far as, you know, paying a lot of respect to New York. So I just thought it was so dope. So all I could think about when I first started rapping was one song specifically, which was Quiet on the Set by NWA on Straight Outta Compton. Ran rapping by himself. So I approached rapping and singing the song like Quiet on the Set by NWA, because that's all I could hear. All I could hear was Quiet on the Set.
On the
Like,
Set.
for
And
a West Coast gangster rapper to
It's
get it
crazy. That's exactly how you can actually compare it.
right? Because that's what I heard. So as I started rhyming, I was like, yo, I know what to do. Like, I remember Ren did this, Quiet on the Set, right? So as I'm working on the hook, me and EP probably got 6 versions. We have a version where you hear the director saying that, and it's just instrumental. Then we have a version where, shout out to the homies from Mike and Keys, we had their singer reference a hook on it. And I'm like, none of this is working, like something is wrong. Like, this shit should be like locked in, and it wasn't, you know, records are magic, cause like, as soon as you hear them, like it's a magic about it, like it just all works together. And it's not forced, you know what I mean? Sometimes people get it off forced, but that shit don't be forced. So I'm like, damn, like I got the verses there, and I'm like, this shit is dope. And I'm telling E like, man, it ain't right. And he agreed. Shout out to E, cause he never let me settle. He never was like, oh, it's cool enough. He was like, all right, well, what you think? And I couldn't figure it out. And one day I was laying in bed, and I was like, man, this song made me feel like something. And I was like, what is that? And I went and listened to Chubb Rock, Treat 'Em Right. Right? Shout out to Howie T and Chubb Rock, right? And I was like, I played it on the YouTube, and I was like, this is how I finished this song. So I started looking for the right sample. How do I finish the hook? What's the sample? Obviously, I went right to Biggie for Big Papa, you know what I mean? And I found something that fit. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mamas. I got the Chronic by the Tree. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mamas. And I have my DJ head scratching, it's the L-O to the C. And it locked right in, and it's stuck. And I added 1 or 2 things. I snuck in there on EP that I don't think he ever paid attention to. It's the OJ's thing, and there was like, who? You know what I'm saying?
EP's talking about he heard it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You ain't gonna get nothing by him.
Yeah, so once I heard it, I knew it was right. Like I was like, oh, this is right. This is how it's supposed to sound. This is a record. And I remember we tried to get Hitman Howie T to mix it. You know, Howie T did all the Chubb Rock shit. He did Color Me Bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, we need to get Howie T to mix it to really
I'm
pull it out, right?
My age. I'm
I know,
remembering all
right?
this
Yeah.
shit.
I'm
Damn.
studying these people, so like they're fresh to me. They're not like, you know, somebody I remember. It's like, oh yeah, Howie T. I was just reading about him last week, and he mixed these songs. So I reached out to Howie. I couldn't get him, and I reached out to Chubb. And this whole point of the story is, I got to Chubb, and he was like, what you need Howie to do? I said, man, I want him to mix his song, dog. So I sent him the low, and he heard it. And he was like, yo, that shit is dope as fuck. I saved the message from Chubb Rock telling me how dope it was.
Damn.
And that shit just was like, I don't think he ever heard Treat 'Em Right in the idea. So shout out to my man Les, you know what I mean, Lester Mendoza, because Lester mixed it when we referenced Treat 'Em Right, and he just really delivered. And it's so many. So when you first heard it, you heard the Isleys or you heard Biggie. When I heard it, I heard Quiet on the Set and Treat 'Em Right. So all of that stuff is all in the record.
And that's what I'm
That's dope.
saying. Like, he dropped this bomb in the middle of everybody. It just affects. It's going to affect everybody differently. It's like the nuclear holocaust. Somebody's going to have 3 eyes. Somebody's going to have 4 arms. You know, it's going to be zombies
And
over
now,
here.
it's
Like,
crazy is because now we're looking at, and as a DJ you could relate, and as a DJ you could relate, like there's a scene in LA developing that's between 108 BPM and 112 BPM. Artists like Lil Vader. It's about 3 or 4 artists that got like 4 or 5 songs that's moving really hard into that direction of 110 BPM. So again, it's one of those things that being true to hip hop, you know what I mean, the artistic form, and it'll be true to the streets, and it's working for me.
well, real quick question for Mr. Billy Knight, super DJ
People
himself.
might start dancing again too.
That's
Start-
what I was just
start
getting ready to
staying at
get
the
on
club
you
drinking,
about.
and they're in their sections.
I was just
Now they're
gonna
in
get
their
on you for
sections.
that.
Maybe they start dancing again.
Listen, somebody asked me, so E-Man, was it E-Man? Who was it? It was A-Man.
Yeah.
And he said, Glasses, he said, man, if this motherfucker was 3 or 4 BPM, for sure, it'll be out of here, right?
Yeah.
It'll be gone. And I said, the problem is, if I commit to what the game doesn't need now, it's no good.
Yeah.
Like if I slide another song in that's just enough to fit what's been happening,
Right.
we don't have a party. And we
No.
need something to make people party.
Dance.
And to me,
Yeah.
that's what artists
It's a
like
party.
Little Vader is
Yeah.
doing. Shout out to 310s, different people that are
Yeah.
making people get off your ass.
Right.
Even if it starts on TikTok or Instagram, cuz and
Make
you
them dance
people
again.
dance,
Yeah.
let's make the party, because that's why West Coast hip hop is struggling as well.
Right.
We don't have enough parties, so it was worth sacrificing it. Even if the record doesn't become as big as it should be, it was worth it just to
I'm
inject
doing
some
my
life
part
into
to
the
shoot
West Coast
steroids
party.
in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now,
It's worth it.
for those of you at home who are just now finding out, first of all, welcome back to Earth. Glasses Malone has a smash ass album called Cancel These Nuts. He has a single called The Low that is going to be world premiere here on hype-radio.com. I keep telling y'all I'm bringing you the best of the best, but I'm going to go ahead and let this man introduce the song, and we're going to give you a little play. Go ahead, Brett.
So check this out. GLA $$ Eastside. That's right, Glasses Malone. And you're about to witness the strength of street knowledge. World premiere, The Low, produced by EP. Let's get this shit cracking, baby.
And that's why, like, Boyz II Men made Motown Philly, all that fast shit, people were dancing. All those records.
Outside of your apartment, meet me at the function. I'm about to get it jumped. Name ring bell, Castle Hell at the top. It's the L to the O to the C. I should say my name, let me know if I could be. Then they get changed, but these names get
Now that you say that, I hear the Cheetah right. Now that you say it, the reference. Hey,
Look,
gotta wrap up.
not scary. Back to the feds trying to hit me with conspiracy. Killing they paying me, I'm giving mine up. Baby daddy tripping, he could get lined up. That is baby mama keep necking this nut. Porn star in that pussy killer. Gotta make it get up. Cruising mid moves with over mommy. I got the chronic, got the twin. Rock cruising mid moves with over mommy.
Now, I'm not gonna give you the whole thing because y'all need to go find it, rewind it, share it with a friend, do whatever it is. Now, before, because I know you're busy, you're on the run. You just did a slapping ass video with Too Short, Super Sport. You got some of the coldest cars in that goddamn video, bro. You sick for that.
That's my calling card.
So
That's my calling card. That's
that's what
another
it
place
is.
that me and the LA Giants and Duke Mac connect. That is, we been car people. That's West Coast culture in general.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like this video right here, it's funny because we're talking about it, right? Like when you heard the song, you heard Biggie and you heard the Isaac.
Right.
When I heard the song, I heard Chubb Rock, Treat 'Em Right, and Quiet on the Set by NWA. When we shot the video, we thought of Luther Vandross. So if you look at the video, it's like never too much in 2023.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. But
So when people see the video for the Low, it's never too much Luther Vandross. So again, great hip hop is like a productive sale because it passes information forward. So I bring so much information forward to the next generation so they can enjoy the same vibes that made our days better when I was younger and from when my parents were younger. So that's what great hip hop is all about.
well, bro, I done took enough of your time. I can sit here and talk for hours and on hours on hours on hours. But I want to thank you for taking the time for coming through.
Thank you very
I want
much.
to thank you for the great work that you put out. I want to thank you for the knowledge you actually kicking off on these podcasts. Like you really a giant in this game, and you really taking your role serious in the motherfucking. I can't do nothing but respect and appreciate that. Shout out to the LA Giants for coming
It was
through.
Max
Shout out to
West,
EP.
Cancel these nuts.
Cancel these nuts.
www.thecripstore.com. Slide through, grab a vinyl, grab a CD, grab a cassette USB, or grab a cassette if you got a tape that. Keep that shit true.
Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you to get a verse, we've had a couple people hit you with verses already. Please let them know how they can get a hold of you real quick.
thecripstore.com, or you can just go to Instagram and type in Glasses Low. I'm Google him too. Just Google me.
I done- that's-
Hit Deuce Mac. Hit the LA Giants page. The LA Giants on Instagram.
Because we got to have the Giants come back because
Yeah, it's about that time.
we got to have them come back and sit down with us. You know, we got glasses here and everything, but the Giants need their own motherfucking interview.
gonna happen, yeah.
We gonna do
Tell,
that.
tell them where to buy the new
Oh, thecripstore.com. www.thecripstore.com. You know what I mean? Like, it's where the street shop at. It's where the street shop at.
Okay, world. Well, you done seen the man. He done told you where to go find them. Please hit the websites. Go get the actual stuff. Run the numbers up. See the videos 300-400 times. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
That part.
This is what it is. Glasses Malone has now got a key. This is now residence for this man. Anytime you want to talk about anything, anything, bruh, I'm a phone call, I'm a text message away. Period. Billy knows it. You want to come up here and try and put a show together? I got something for you.
We gonna do something. If we do it, my goal also is bringing the culture, man. Like I really want to bring the culture. I was just telling, it's funny how these conversations are happening. We were just telling Billy Knight, like we gotta make the game, the concert fit today.
Right.
So we want to bring more culture. Like we don't want
Billy,
to
you
come up
ready to
to
DJ at a
saxophone.
concert again, bruh?
Huh?
You ready to be a DJ at a concert
I
again?
just did a concert last week.
My man,
You talking about ready?
Say less. Well,
A festival, actually.
thank you for coming through, bro. Like I said, this has been a special edition of the Spotlight here on hype-radio.com. Make sure you follow us on the gram. Hype Radio is real. We're everywhere that you want to be and going everywhere that you ain't been.
Hey.
I'm your man Shadow, and we up out of here.
Good shit. Good shit.
Hit that button, brother.